Boruto chapter 52 is already out, and I'd assume a lot of people have already read it. If you haven't read the chapter, I would suggest you go read it before you proceed with the video. Now, this chapter, for anyone who read it, you already know that it's a very action-packed chapter. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of Naruto moments here, which he totally deserved, and it was a very fun chapter. But progression-wise, the chapter was also really good. There was a lot of progression because basically Ishiki's time limit has been reduced considerably, so he has to step up his game. So that was a really good thing that this chapter established for me, basically, because we've been slowly going into Ishiki and he had 20 hours, so this was going to play out for a long time. So now his time limit is reduced. We're going to get to the good parts pretty soon. Now that said, the chapter begins with, of course, Naruto's new mode, which is called the Baryon Mode. In this mode, he combines his chakra with the Kyuubi's chakra in a form of nuclear fusion, and he converts it into a new type of chakra, which, when he attacks an enemy, his own life force gets consumed, and the opponent's life force gets consumed along with it. So it's a gamble of who would last longer, whose life force would last longer, and whose would give out immediately. So Naruto takes on this gamble as his last opportunity because he and Sasuke are not enough to face Shiki for some reason. Now Sasuke, and it's so disappointing to see Sasuke in the sidelines again, just huffing and wheezing, and he's not able to put up a fight against Ishiki. And Ishiki is impressive, yes, he's got some really nice powers, but these guys were the ones who sealed off Kaguya. She had all the Kekkei Genkai, and she was a man. She had all the chakra to spare. Ishiki does not have all the chakra to spare. His Kekkei Genkai is not as crazy as Kaguya's. So why are these guys struggling to fight against him? I don't know. Maybe he's more of a skilled fighter. Take it as you will. Ishiki is pretty impressive that he's putting these guys into trouble. So anyway, Boruto is on the ground. He cannot move anymore, so he passes out, and Ishiki takes in the bait. He doesn't realize what he's up against, so he takes the bait, he fights, he gets thrashed, and he finally realizes that his lifespan is on the line, and he's only left with 20 to 30 minutes. So from 20 days, 20 hours, his lifespan has reduced to 20 to 30 minutes. So that is the one big thing that this chapter has accomplished. So Naruto say he's going to die basically, and we knew this. We knew that Naruto was going to die or he was going to get sealed. So we knew this from the very first chapter. In the very first chapter, we saw Kawaki with his karma and Boruto with their karma. They were all grown up. So it's safe to say that Naruto was dead or he was sealed off. So this is probably how that's going to happen. It's really unfortunate because I was hoping that they would save Naruto, they would keep him around because Kishimoto's coming back. But we'll have to wait and see. It's not done yet, so maybe there's still a possibility. And Sasuke also realizes that Naruto is nearing his limit, so maybe something could happen, who knows. But the interesting part here is that they've mentioned a few chapters ago that Boruto's karma is almost 80% extracted, so only 20% to go till he's completely transformed into Momoshiki. But we already saw in the future that Boruto is still Boruto. He has grown up, but he's still Boruto, and that transformation has not happened. But he still has the karma. So what does that lead to? So here's the thing that I was thinking. Maybe during the time skip, he tries and he learns about the karma, and he controls the karma. So he forcefully stops Momoshiki's transformation, and he gets the karma completely under his control. That's the most easy possibility. Or the second possibility is that Momoshiki gives in. Momoshiki admits defeat, Momoshiki recognizes Boruto as superior or something like that, and Momoshiki helps out Boruto. He stops the transformation himself, he doesn't want to be reborn, something like that. It could be. He gives Boruto the full control of the karma. So that's a possibility. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see where that goes. But another interesting possibility here is Kawaki. Kawaki, by the end of the chapter, he's already transported back into the battlefield. Ishiki uses the link that Naruto has with his arm and Kawaki to transport Kawaki back into the battlefield. Now, this is a little bit disappointing because, come on, Shikamaru is supposed to be a genius, and you guys took him to a secret bunker and kept him safe, but you didn't figure out that the arm is linked to Naruto's chakra and they could track that. I don't know what they were thinking. Amado was there, and but you could forgive Amado because he just realized that just now in this chapter, so he probably would have, taken measures against it if he knew it before. But Shikamaru should have known that you could track chakra. So you could track someone with chakra. That's what they've been doing. The sensory types use chakra to track one another. So that was a big failure for Shikamaru, and now Kawaki is in the battlefield right now. So anyway, as it goes, we know that Kawaki is going to get the karma back. At some point, even in the few chapters ago, Kawaki was actually disappointed to not have the karma with him because he felt weak, and he felt like if he had the karma, he would have been more useful in the battle. So he has the karma. We know that because in the future we see him with the karma mark again. And the fun thing here is that in the future, even though it is possible that Ishiki took over his mind, or is controlling Kawaki, it's possible that that was happening there, but it's 100% certain that Ishiki did not completely get restored. He did not be reborn. He was not reborn into Kawaki's body, because that was still Kawaki's body, that was still Kawaki's form, and the karma mark was still on. So if the Otsutsuki is reborn, the karma disappears. So Ishiki was not reborn even in that time when Boruto and Kawaki were fighting in the future. So it's safe to say that in this battle, Ishiki does transfer his karma successfully into Kawaki, but then he's not reborn. So what happens to Kawaki? So that's the interesting part. Does Ishiki take over his mind completely, or does Kawaki turn to the dark side? So there's a couple of things over there, and at the same time his karma still exists. So there's a lot to dissect over there, and there's a lot to go off of. So there's a lot of theories that can come out of this, right? So this is going to be a very interesting topic to talk about later on, based on the future events and how we can compare that to the current events. So anyway, this chapter was really good. There was nothing much to go over, and there was something very interesting at the end of the chapter, which I will get to. But talking about this whole chapter, it's very interesting because Naruto was effective. So he did get his moment to shine, and he almost defeated Ishiki. But Ishiki, of course, he's a Otsutsuki, and he saw a lot of this coming in the end, and he turned it into his advantage. He brought Kawaki back. So in the end, he's still not done for. So that's the beauty of this chapter. Naruto had his moment, Ishiki had his moment, and they were using their brain for most of it. So that was a very fun part of the chapter. In the end of the chapter, we see Boruto waking up, and that is not Boruto. I don't know if you can say, but his eyes are not the normal. I think it's more like the Jogan. It's probably the Jogan, or it is Momoshiki. When Boruto battled that giant fat guy from when Naruto was sealed up, this same thing happened. This was the same eye that was going on, and that was Momoshiki. Momoshiki came into Boruto's body and he destroyed that guy. So it is possible that Momoshiki is coming back right now, and he's going to have a fight with the Ishiki, or they're going to have this could be a good thing or a bad thing. This could be really good for the Naruto team, or this could be very bad for the Naruto team, because if it is Momoshiki, the chances are that he's going to be siding with Ishiki, because their clan rules, whether they like it or not, they're not allowed to kill each other. So Ishiki is not allowed to kill Momoshiki, Momoshiki is not allowed to kill Ishiki. So in the end of the day, the Naruto squad is still their enemy, so they might team up against the Naruto squad, in which case it's going to be terrible. But I don't see that happening. I see something else that's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to say that this is going to be Boruto fighting Ishiki to stall for time or something like that. Boruto in the form of Momoshiki, or it could be a Jogan awakening. If it is a Jogan awakening, it could be something really crazy, because we haven't seen Boruto actually use Jogan awakening too much. It was more like how he uses like the Sharingan. So it was like a Sharingan moment for Boruto when he used it against Urashiki. So it wasn't like a massive power up. The Jogan was not like that. So anyway, we'll have to see. I'm leaning more towards it actually being Momoshiki because the expression, it was more cold and didn't look like Boruto. So I feel like Momoshiki is back, and we'll have to wait and see if he's going to team up with Ishiki or if he's going to go against Ishiki. Either way, the next chapter is going to be really interesting. It's going to be the last chapter of the year, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a blast because Kishimoto is officially into Boruto, and we can expect a lot from him. And that's pretty much it. This chapter was really fun. It's a very good chapter. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Action packed chapter. If this chapter was animated, this would look really gorgeous. So, love the chapter, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on another one. Thank you. Bye.